Do you know why it is that, like, in Latin American countries, and in the meantime, if you could check where else this happens, but like Latin America
The
is
donkey
known,
living?
yeah, like donkey love is very known in the Latin America rural communities, right? Like in
Hmm.
Venezuela, Colombia, I know people that know people that
Who have been
have
there?
done it, who have done it, yeah, and I know you know people
Just
too.
I know people. Uncle Martinez, he's a famous one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that equivalent to anything in the United States?
Well, this is why I wanted you to search, because I'm thinking, okay, is there like an equivalent in the rural communities of the Midwest in the U.S. maybe with goats? Do they do this in other places in Asia, in Europe?
I've heard about the chicken loving.
Damn, for real? Ah, seems like a little cruel.
I mean, anything to an animal seems cool.
No. Right. But there's levels, right, of cruelty. Like a donkey, like you're not hurting it in the sense that, like, that's the smallest thing that donkey has ever encountered, right?
And for example, for the chicken, it would be
The
maybe the biggest.
right, maybe. I'm sure anything is gonna just destroy the poor chicken. So yeah, I do think there's levels of cruelty.
Have you
Unless
ever been?
unless the chickens like it and we're just here, like, inhibiting them from having fun, with their owners or whatever.
Have you ever been in the presence of an act like this?
Like a donkey show? No, I
Like
never.
a
I
love
never.
show?
I never. But I have been told by first time encounters of it. Right, like I've been, and like once, like this was a friend of my dad, older guy, had a
Uncle
house.
Martinez.
Yeah, Uncle Martinez. He had a house in, like, the rural mountains of Venezuela, and he just started casually talking about his younger years, loving the donkey. And I was just like, damn, this guy talks about this shit too casual. Like he just like,
My Uncle Martinez was
mm-hmm.
the one when I was like 13. He would come to like the house party and be like, did you lose it yet?
Right,
Like, did you lose your V card yet? And then you'll be like, hey, no. And then he's like, all right, then we'll have to take you to the Dunkin' Lovin' show.
right. Like this is the
We
Uncle
had,
Martinez that would go to you and be like, hey, have you done it yet? No, I haven't. Well, here's a little bit of chloroform, to help you out. I mean, some Uncle Martinez just out there,
mm,
you
they're
can't,
all they're all they're all different but the same.
right. Like, because every culture has an Uncle Martinez, and obviously the culture does paint them in a different way, depending. Some Uncle Martinez are worse than others, or better, depending on how you look at it.
Maybe the gringo Uncle Martinez would like in Nebraska would fuck, I don't know,
A
corn.
goat. What, a corn? How do you?
I don't
I
know.
don't.
Maybe
Can you
I
fuck a
don't.
corn? I don't think you can do a
Maybe
corn.
maybe the corn fucks you.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Maybe the
that's the way God
corn.
intended that little transaction to go.
Maybe in Texas they do the chickens. That's why there's a chicken shortage or chicken egg shortage.
Oh, there is in the United States.
Yeah. In the United States now,
I always find it funny
eggs are
that
expensive right now.
yeah, like everybody, like you see memes like, oh my God, eggs are so expensive. I wish I could have a job so I could afford eggs and shit. But it's like, isn't everything expensive in the U.S. anyways already? Like, what are we talking about? The eggs went from what? From $7 to $9? Like, what are we talking about here?
No, like a dozen eggs, it was like $15.
That's how much it costs now?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah, it's expensive now. Right now,
Damn.
it's super expensive. So
Uh,
I've been going to Costco to buy eggs.
okay.
They're $8. So
For 12.
for 18. So
Oh
actually, we win
damn.
a little bit there.
Okay.
Uh,
So you could
I
say
don't want to
you
give out my tips.
right, because then people will go there. It's like these
Make it
people
more
that sell
expensive.
courses to make money. It's like, what do you want to give your tips away? Are you retarded or you know? But anyways,
Well, we
okay.
always
So
get the Bitcoin ones,
what do you mean?
like the course.
Oh
For
yeah,
the course
those.
for Bitcoin,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
either
of
it's
course.
on Facebook or
Yeah,
on
yeah.
WhatsApp.
Or like e-trading, or like oh, I do day trading. Yeah, you're gonna make money on this. Yeah, I get you. So the
What
eggs are
about
expensive. What I just feel. I mean, how do you feel now that you're in Miami? Is the tipping
mine?
frenzy the same as it was in San Francisco?
Yeah, it's a big tipping community.
Right.
Also, there's a lot of money here. I don't know if as much as, but definitely there's a lot of money.
I heard, because I don't
And
know if this happens in San Francisco, in Miami, in South Florida, generally they charge the tip already on the bill, and I see this happen, which didn't used to happen in the past. And my question, I heard my question to you, but I also heard people say, "Oh, they do this because there's a lot of tourists that go to Miami from another country, and they're not used to tipping, so they don't leave tip."
mm,
Which to me is like, well, that's your fucking problem. Like that, you shouldn't be including tips. But anyway, how do you feel about it?
if you're not looking at your bill, you're gonna be fucked. Because a lot of places now, like you said, they're adding that, and if you're not looking into it, you're gonna give them an extra 20% because that's what it seems the normal now. Um, so just look at your bill, make sure because it has to say tip included or tip
Hmm.
already in the bill on the charge.
And maybe
But
you don't take it off, but
mhm,
just so that you don't add anymore. But I do think it's fucked
I
how like they're just including a 20% tip. Like, and I know there's gonna be servers who listen to this. They'll be like, "Oh, you don't even know. Like, we make 250 an hour, and then we don't even get this." It's like, bro, no, the tip. Like, I
well,
used to work for tips, and I wasn't expecting this insane amount of tips that they're giving away. And in Miami, they take advantage of the fact there's a bunch of people that just made new money, and they don't give a fuck. You just give $100 tip. So
but it's different because you're not in the restaurant industry, so you're not living off of that paycheck. Imagine if you needed to live off of being a server,
mhm.
you're gonna want people to leave at 20-25%. That I mean, is it normal? Is it fair? Probably not to the customer, but to me that's my living.
Okay, well, actually, this is good, because I'm on this side. You worked in the kitchens, so and you probably know the perspective of a server, and what they. So yeah, give me the counter argument to what I'm saying. Like, is there? I mean, first of all, is there a counter argument? Are they right in saying, look, like we need those tips?
The thing is that I don't think so because like in Europe, you get a salary. You already know you're gonna earn $1,200 in a month, and then you already know that's gonna be it would be like any other office job, right?
Right.
But in the States, they make less than minimum wage because they're already getting a bunch of tips. Maybe that's the difference between the US and every other country that you're working here and then you're what you're earning are basically the tips.
I
And
mean,
you're gonna have
I
to fight for
believe
it and
I believe the
maybe
way
it's
that
also
it
to
should be.
ensure that you're gonna give a good customer service.
Yeah, but the thing is, if tips are already expected, then I think it actually makes the service worse, because it's not like in the past 20 years ago in the US, when it's like, no, you wanted to give a good server so they could give you a tip. Now it's expected, so I think service, like, I think it's producing um cost at this stage and not benefits, because people are starting to get away from it altogether. What is a way that I think could work? Well, first of all, servers or any job shouldn't be paid, if that's real, 250 an hour, whatever. That shouldn't be the case. Like, people should be paid like the cook gets paid, like, just a salary. And then tips should still exist, but you leave 5-10% depending on the service. That's it. And that's just a little extra thing for you to have. Servers, they like the cocorino romano, they like the magical herbs. They should have a little cash for that. They shouldn't be, using their paycheck to buy, Xanax or whatever.
I don't know. The thing is that at least servers in the restaurants I worked at, they make good money with all the tips, of course. So they made more money than I would have as a sous chef, and
And don't you think that's a little
I knew
fucked up?
service would make. It is fucked up.
You're
For sure
very
it is.
like because you were just supporting the server, saying, "Look, no, they need that money, this and that." But don't you see that it's a
Right.
little unfair? Like, I mean, I do know there's some restaurants where they split that tip with part of the chefs and the shit, but in a lot of places it
But
isn't like that,
it's
right?
a small amount.
It's a small amount, anyways, right? So like, she's getting a big chunk, right, for just bringing the food to the person, and then the people that were actually involved in producing that product are not even getting part of that tip. Now, like I said, I don't think they should be getting a tip. Anyone should be getting a tip. Everyone should just be getting paid by the owner, whatever that owner believes is valuable for him to continue to have, customers. So, and another thing is like, if a table spends $50 or spends $500, the server doesn't do that much more. Like, especially on high end places where like a few plates is a lot of money, and then they want to get tipped based on what the bill was. Like, to me, that's another thing that shouldn't be the case. Like, you shouldn't be getting paid based on the bill.
Mm.
I do understand
Well,
the
I guess
bill. The bill does tell you how much work you have to put in on how many things you gotta bring. Yes, but there's times where like a steak is just one plate, and that steak costs 50, and then a burger costs 10, and you bring in the same thing, just one plate, but now you're expected to get a tip based on 50 and not 10. You feel me?
I can see your point. I mean, from my kitchen point of view, I can see it. Like it makes sense, but also what I see is that that person is the face that they're seeing in the restaurant. So she represents what the restaurant should be about, right? So she's expected to give somewhat of a show, right? Give you the attention you deserve. Not all restaurants do that. I would say 90% of restaurants don't do it.
I
But
mean,
sometimes you
if
go to high end restaurants and then you're felt like the feeling you get is like, damn, you're feeling special, like you being taken care of. And then I guess at the end, that's what you're tipping on because the food, like you said, the food is made by other people. And then sometimes you don't even have the waiter run the food. There's a position called the runner, who's the
wow,
person who
wow,
runs the
bro.
food from the kitchen to. So
So,
yeah,
so,
I
so
mean,
you're
if you
telling me
think
in
about it,
high-end restaurants where the tipping is usually larger, the server doesn't even run the food. She has a little servant
sometimes, yeah.
that takes the food. He doesn't even get the big chunk of the tip. That's fucked.
So the biggest chunk goes to the server, and then after that goes to I think the bar, and then after that the food runners.
The bar. I mean, I don't even want to get into that. That's another thing too, right? Like tipping for in a bar is you have to tip a lot too.
Okay. In what was I gonna say? In the bar. Well, if you think about it, whatever the bar makes tips wise, it also gets if it's more than the service, it still gets shared by everyone.
Mm.
Different percentages, right? But still gets shared. Um, at least in some of the restaurants I worked at.
I mean, I get it if you're a bartender, you're making this cocktail, mojito, whatever it is you do. But if I just want a beer in a bottle, and then does that deserve a tip? Back in the day, you could give $1 for that, and that was fine. These days, I feel like
You can still give $1. No,
yeah,
I've been to bars where they just open the beer and I give them $1. I mean,
okay,
if I have $1, I'll give it to them. But
okay,
I'm gonna be honest. Lately, I've been in the no tip zone. I've been more on your side because I feel like the other day I spent I don't know like $20, and the guy literally just put, well, the stadium we were just talking about it. I asked for a beer and some like fried chicken tenders with fries and sauce and whatever. And it has been sitting there for a good, I want to say 10 minutes. So when I went to buy it, it was like whatever, $30. And then he turns the tablet around. He's like, "Oh, you please leave a tip."
He told
It's
you?
like, bro, yeah, yeah, yeah. He said, this is the part where you can leave a tip. And I'm like, sorry, dude, you got zero. And I'm sorry. I'm in that industry, so I know the feeling. But at the same time, it's like, dude, come on, you can't be
Right.
begging for it.
Well, I mean, I think this brings us to a nice part of this conversation, which is you told us sort of your opinion when it comes to a restaurant where there's an actual service by the server, right? Even though I might think they're overpaid, I do think that there's a service, right? That, like, they guide you onto what to order, they make you feel good, they make you feel like at home. That's a service. But these places now where you just go to, I don't know, Starbucks or whatever the fuck it is, a place that just puts a donut in a bag and gives it to you, and then and they expect you to leave a tip. And then it affects, like, because like you just go no tip, and I would go no tip. But there's people that are like, the social pressure gets to them. And I think that is this passive
But I've been
aggressive
part of
shit.
that.
Right.
I've been part of that social pressure that you had to live $8 for the guy who just brought you the pastelitos,
Right.
the guava pastelitos.
Yeah, even when I was in Miami and I went to like a Cuban bakery and you just order coffee and a few croquetas, when you pay, it's like, oh, the tip. I'm like, what is this? This is a bakery. Like, this is, I come here so that I don't have to leave tips. I come here so I can have cheap food. And I don't know if they have it yet, but like, for example, if you go to McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, they don't have this tipping stuff. It's like the only places that haven't been touched. Although I have been to some that do have it. But like, if you go to Chick-fil-A, they still treat it like it is. It's fast food. Here's your shit. And I think
By
more
the
people
way,
are yeah,
Chick-fil-A, fire.
bro, it's the fire as shit.
The fucking sauce is magical.
The sweet one?
The Chick-fil-A sauce.
Is that the sweet one? No.
It's sweet. I don't know. It's like sweet, smoky. They have
Oh, yeah,
they
the
have a
orange,
bunch of sauces.
the orange one, yeah.
The orange one. And had like Polynesian, whatever.
Yeah. That's the one I like, the
That one's
Polynesian.
good. But the Polynesian is great. But the
And I like this.
Chick-fil-A sauce?
If you ever can, although now I don't know if you can order this, but like, you get the chicken nuggets and you get honey mustard, but not honey mustard, the one for the chicken, which is fine. If you can, you get the honey mustard they use for the salads. That honey mustard is better because it's like less, I don't know, less toxic and shit. It's just, I love it.
I'm trying to look for the sauces. The Chick-fil-A sauce, Polynesian, the honey mustard one, the one that you're talking about. But that was for the burger, not for the salad. Anyways, barbecue sauce and garden herb ranch.
I haven't had
they
that
also
one.
have like sweet and spicy sriracha, zesty buffalo sauce, honey roasted barbecue.
What
And
about
then
that?
they have the salad ones.
And you can tell them to give you the half and half with a tea, half lemonade.
Oh, the Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, but they have a name for it.
I don't know.
Like, I recently went to the U.S., right, and I hadn't been to Chick-fil-A in a while, and I remember they have the tea where they mix it, right, like. So I'm like asking the cashier, and I want one of those teas that you guys make, and she's like, what? Yeah, the one that you guys make. And she was like a black lady. And I don't know if she took it a certain way. I'm like, yeah, the tea you guys make.
Whoa.
And then my sister told me,
oh, tea?
No, she acted like she didn't know what I was talking about. I'm like, well, Chick-fil-A has a tea that you guys do with it, like a mix. It has a name. If you could search there, what's the name of the Chick-fil-A tea with lemonade? It's called like Sunny Flowers or some shit.
Sunjoy. The tea, half lemonade. Sunjoy. It's an Arnold Palmer. I don't know why it's so difficult. Arnold Palmer. He died. Great golfer. I never saw him.
You found it?
Sunjoy.
Sanjo. You see, I'm not. I was right. And she acted like she didn't know what was it tea
I've
they
never
made.
had it.
Next time you go, get it. Bro, is the Arnold Palmer of Chick-fil-A.
Let me look at. I think there's one very close to where I'm living now.
Bro, Chick-fil-A's fire. Obviously know that they're closed on the Sundays. Because it's very easy to
the one and only
to forget that, and then just show up on a Sunday all drunk, like fuck.
You throw the can of beer at the door. Fucking close.
God damn it! Because one thing that people, you know, what's underrated? People don't really like go to Chick-fil-A for this. I love the breakfast where they put the little chicken nuggets on these little blankets of bread that are a little sweet and buttery. Dear Lord. And they have the hash browns. No, hash brown.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
Dear Lord. That's how I talk when I go to Chick-fil-A, because I feel religious. I feel like I'm in a Baptist church in the Midwest.
Damn. What were we talking about before Chick-fil-A? Tipping.
You said tipping. Yeah, tipping. You know what I like about Chick-fil-A? They don't ask for tipping. Yet.
Oh, you were talking about the restaurants that didn't have tipping, and one of them was Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell.
There's
like
things that still don't have it, but then there's others that have it that you're like, wait, what? Like, this is retarded. Like, how are you going to have tipping here? Like, can you remember one that you've gone to recently where you're like, I mean, you mentioned one.
I think the gas station also has, like the 7-Eleven.
Nah.
When you ask for the little taquitos, I've been sitting out for 12 hours.
They ask for tip?
I think they ask for tip.
Bro, that's like the most...
Either that or they have the tub, the thing that says tips.
I mean, that's different. The tub is different. The tub, you put pennies, you know, it's the tub.
When you get pennies from the 7-Eleven lady, you're like throwing that shit in there. They look at you disgustingly.
Yeah. But hey, I mean,
back in the pennies.
But you know what's bad is that in this world where gratitude is sort of leaving. Like, bro, back in the day, I used to deliver pizza in the early 2000s. And I would get $1.50 in a tip. I mean, and I'll be like, oh, thank you. There's people that will give me 50 cents.
You're still grateful.
I'm still grateful. I never made a face. I never fucking anything.
But you're this is not enough for gas, lady.
You know what was an amazing tip for delivering pizza? One time, come on, bro. There's kids watching.
All right.
There was this guy that I used to take pizza to. And, you know, it was one of these guys that orders a lot. And, bro, he would give me $5. Are you okay, bro? Are you...
I'm good. Keep talking. I'm listening.
$5, bro. Like, back then, $5 tip, I was like, God damn, bro. Thank you. I'm talking about when there used to be the dollar menu at Wendy's and McDonald's. And Taco Bell. They were all battling each other out. Dollar menu spicy nuggets at Wendy's. Fuck with me.
You drop off the pizza. You take out the $5. On the way back to the restaurant,
you
stop by Taco Bell, grabbing some snacks for the next delivery that you needed to do.
Beef and potato burrito, $1. Back in the day when they used to serve they had this alioli. Well, yeah, I don't like being from. I mean, that's just me. I don't like being in a taco in a place. But they had the potatoes with the alioli.
Okay, I don't think
the potatoes. Well, anyways, what I'm talking about is I used to get $5 tips. I was happy. Now people expect $30 tips on like and it's bothering me because I think it's clashing with society. Some comments might be like, "Hey, Kiko, if you don't have money to go out, then don't." But I think that's the immature way of saying it because okay, so what does this mean that you need to have money to go out means that you need to pay 30% more for the server? I mean, I can understand hating on the guy that doesn't tip at all, but 15% tip, I think that's in the like in the high side.
No 18. Nothing over 18 for you.
No, no. I'm keeping it Leo DiCaprio. So I don't know. Say what you will about that.
Another thing that I noticed in my outing with my family over the weekend, that now everything has become cashless. Like everything's driven to pay with your phone, with your, the card that has a little tap on. But it's nothing new. Like in places like China, it's already existed for a while. And I think you talked with our friend the other time, but I was thinking about it. Now I go to the gas station or anywhere, and it's basically cashless. And they can't accept bills over $20. Before it was like 50 or 100.
Whoa, for real?
And I don't know why that is.
Well, this is the thing.
I've seen that a couple of times.
I'm happy that we live in a modern world where like you can just pay card everywhere. For a while here, if you got in the bus, you needed to have cash, and they only accepted $5 bills. It was like a whole thing, and then they made it so you could just use your card or your phone to pay, and that's great. Like that makes it easier. But on the other hand, I also dislike the fact that we're going so cashless. Like there's something about cash that to me still means something. Like, there's a value to it. I'm not talking about Tio Martinez going around with a wad of cash, like $500 in like $5 bills. Nothing like that. But, maybe you have a couple 20s and 100 hidden just in case. Just in case your friend Heido calls up and tell you, bro, I got that fresh, fish scale.
Right, because that's only cash.
Right.
Cash only operation.
Yeah. Little quick tip for the adventurers out there. Don't pay drugs with your card. You
don't want to leave any trace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cash. But this has been happening for a while now. I'm pretty sure San Francisco was the same. Can you tell me, specific things where you're like, damn, this used to always be cash and now is card? Like, do you have examples like that? Like, I'll give you one while you think. In Spain, there used to be these little bars in the center where you could get calamari sandwich, a couple beers, speak with the owners, hear screams, look at the Spanish architecture and have fun. And then the guy was like, hey, only cash here. Why? Because they were laundering money and avoiding taxes. What happened? Maybe it had to do with the law enforcing them to do this, or maybe they simply felt that because they had so many tourists coming in, if they only accepted cash, you're gonna lose business. They're gonna go to the place next door where they can pay with card. So maybe the competition sort of fixes that. But the fact of the matter is that these places, which there were a lot of, that only accepted cash, now they all accept card. So
now that I think about it, once you start going to the supermarket and doing that, and then you start going to stores, it becomes natural. So I think in a way, I can't think of a place like that because it has changed and it became natural, right? To go to Target and pay with phone. But if we want to be a little bit funny, like the little street cars where they sell the hot dogs, before it used to be cash. Now you can even send them to sell a Bithum in Spain.
A Bithum.
Cash, whatever, Venmo, Cash App, and all those apps. They accept all that. They go, and sometimes they encourage you to do that more than paying with your car on your phone. Like, could you sell? That's how they say it. But could you beef with me
Right.
the money instead of paying with your card?
Yeah, because in this
Because I
way, it
think
comes as if a friend sent them some money just as like
right,
some
and it's
beers.
not you don't have to tax it. I guess
Yeah. And these are people doing what commerce? Sorry, I missed that
like
part.
the little cars outside that sells the hot dogs, the street food.
That's crazy, bro. This guy has an
Where
illegal
else did I
hot
see
dog
it?
stand, and he fucking
Maybe the lady that we talked about in one of the episodes. I don't remember which one, but the one that had like a little arepa stand outside of Publix.
right. She's like, "Hey,
Maybe
you can
she
sell me."
was accepting card
Well,
or
bro, I
so.
mean, I noticed recently I was in the metro and I saw this couple that go in with like a little card that has a speaker attached to it, and the guy's singing, old songs, and they're asking for money, right? And bro, right on the card they have this big poster with a number, because here it's through like a phone number, right? Bizum, but it's the same thing. It's like Cash App, Venmo, and it's like, oh, you can send money here. So it's like, it's not even like, oh, I don't have cash on me. So I've seen that a lot. People that do like street stuff, maybe they're doing a show in the
They're like street
streets.
performers.
Yeah, street performers, and now they're like, oh, you can Bizum here. Like,
Well,
wait.
imagine if we were to change the idea of serving in a restaurant. So let's say, what about this? The servers start making $18 an hour. So minimum wage in California, for example, 18.25 or 18, whatever. They start
Who's
making
making
that.
that? Who's making that?
Let's say the servers start doing
Oh,
that
okay.
money instead of
Right.
getting the $7 or $2 or whatever.
Right.
So they start making regular hourly wage, but at the end of your stay there, she'll hand you a card with her own Cell, Venmo app,
Hmm.
cash, and then that's where you decide, okay, I want to leave you an extra tip that's going to go directly into you,
Right. I mean,
and then
directly to you. When you say directly into you, it seems like you're paying her for something. Um, yeah, but I mean, you can also do that with cash. Now, you know what's the funny part?
well, no, because if you get cash in the restaurant and it's a tip pool, you're not going to stay with the cash. It's just going to
No,
go
no,
into a
no, no.
tip pool. That's
But cash that she keeps, like it used to be in the
no,
old
no, she
days.
doesn't. Well, I don't know how restaurants are now, but cash that goes in, cash that goes into the pot. It's not a little
Oh,
pot. At the
oh,
end of the
okay,
night,
okay,
they
okay. But then, yeah, they wouldn't let her do that. If they're like, oh no, we have a pot for everybody. Obviously, we don't want you getting individual sales because then we don't get that money in the big pot. But I mean, no, but I get you. I mean, I like the way you're thinking, because that's what it should be. They should be paying them whatever it is, 18, 19, $20 an hour, and then they can have a little bit of tip, $10, $5 from the tables that she gets to keep. I think she just gets, she should keep it, but it wouldn't be that much money anyways. Now, you know what's the problem, and what's ironic about all this? If you were to tell servers, oh, you're not gonna get paid $2.50, you're gonna get paid a little bit more than the minimum wage, $20 an hour in San Francisco. They would be like, oh, no, no. Like, they talk shit about not wanting, like, oh, we get paid little. But if you were to get paid $20 and then the tips will be eliminated, or you just get a little bit, they wouldn't take it, because in an hour, they can make $60 on tips. So it's fucked up, man. Like, they're making a bunch of money an hour that a lot of the people making the food there don't make. So this whole thing about, oh, but the tips are there because we only get $2.50 an hour. Yeah, but you're making $100 an hour, bro. I've seen servers in an hour easily they could make $100 in tips. That's like
more
three,
than
four
that.
tables. 3-4 tables.
I think they have if they have 3 or 4 tables, they're making more than that.
More. Okay, so what the fuck are we talking about here? Do they really
Right,
care
but
about
the $100 are not going to them entirely.
Okay.
Are they, from the $100? Are they keeping 60?
Okay.
Probably, and then the 40, the other 40
Okay.
are
So,
between everybody else.
Are we right? Are we right to say that 4 tables in an hour is at least $100, right?
Yeah,
At
for
least
sure.
she gets 60. Okay, So she gets 60 in an hour. Does she really care if she gets paid 250 or 20? No, yeah, she doesn't give a fuck about what's her salary because she gets all this tip and we allow way more.
Well, if you're getting a salary of $20 an hour and you work 30 hours, how much is that?
600.
There you go. $600 just in your paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
and then plus the tips.
Right, but
of course they're gonna want the tip as well, and
right, but
still get paid more.
yeah, but you don't get to win $20 an hour and then also get fucking 25-30% tips. That's what I'm saying. Like
Maybe the restaurants who are paying the $20 an hour are then the percentages between or amongst everybody in the restaurant. It's equally or more equal rather than
yeah, whatever the fuck
side.
you want to do on that side, that's fine. But this is what I'm trying to get at. Servers should get paid more, right? The norm, $20 an hour, whatever it is. But then the tips, as a society, we should go back to tips being 5-10% max. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's how it should be. That's how it should be. That's how it used to be. You worked great in the past. This way, the server was already getting a living, like a good wage. And then the tip was just an extra, for the perico. Like, I used to love the tip because I was like, this is not even part of my paycheck. This is what I get to have fun with. Let me go to the dollar menu. $5, you get 5 items.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, when you expect the tips to come through like it's part of your salary, now it's not fun anymore. Now the tip is something you got to keep to pay rent. No, you should get your paycheck, a good paycheck, and then you get the tips. So, yeah, this whole thing is bullshit. This whole thing like, oh, but we only get $250. Yeah, you get $250 an hour, and then you get $100 from tips. So what the fuck? Do you really care about what the salary is? You're really here just working for the tips that are a lot more than any hour salary here. So that's the thing. I mean, I get it. You want to defend it if you're a server because it's a fucking easy job where you don't have to go further in life, right? And you want to get paid like a fucking physician. Maybe I'm getting too aggressive here, but you feel me? There's people that go to school, get degrees.
Money.
Yeah, they're making good money. They always cry, but every time I went to restaurants in the U.S., no one got like less than $25, $30 for the table. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And she's, in this little time that I've been here, she's taking care of like 7 tables. She's clearing $200 in an hour and a half.
I've had episodes where we haven't left tips and the server will get mad at us. Like one time we asked our food to go, we didn't leave a tip, and then she threw our food in the garbage.
Right, but this is when you were very young.
Younger, older than high school, younger than whatever I'm now.
Right, but that's what, like 15 years ago?
Probably.
Right, so...
But still, I mean... Because you're encouraged, you're taught to leave tips.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, I think if you don't leave a tip, they can, after you leave, talk all this shit about you. But I was taught you treat the person the same, even if they didn't leave a tip. And then after you talk shit about them, that's it. But like now you get, well, I mean, not even now. Like, it's been like this for a minute. Like, in your case, I mean, of course, you guys, I think it was fucked not leaving a tip. But you didn't leave it. And then they just like threw the food and threw a fit because you didn't leave tip. And I think that's like trashy behavior.
Do you remember when we were in high school that we would do like Friday nights before or after going to the movies? We would, like 40 of us would go into TGI Fridays, and nobody ever wanted to serve us. One, because it was such a large group and it was all high schoolers. So the food that they weren't going to order, we weren't going to order expensive food.
Yeah,
and
it was all like cheeseburgers.
We weren't going to leave tips.
Right.
So when large groups of high schoolers would come in, sometimes we would have to wait a lot before we'd be sat down.
Not only that, they would also hate that we would want to pay separate.
Oh yeah, everybody their own check.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I get them, but this is the other thing. I also feel that, look, is that a more annoying table than others? Yes. But as a business, you should see it as a positive that you're getting 20 kids to buy food here. No? I mean, you're seeing it from the restaurant side, right?
Right. Yes. Business wise, I would love for people to come in, and then if it's 40 kids, they're all gonna spend at least $10. So just you have your little paycheck there. But um, I mean, you're in the kitchen. You don't want to be served with like 10 different burgers, 10 different French fries. I don't know.
Well, but then you
It's
don't want to
just
fucking
more
you don't want to
hectic.
work.
It's
You don't want to
just
work
more
then.
hectic. Maybe
It
you
is, but
don't.
like, look,
Maybe maybe it's a Friday night. You just want to go home. You
this
just
is
want
yeah,
to.
because you just want to do drugs, but that's different. You feel me? Like this is what I would do as the owner. Look, I know we got that group of 40 kids. I know they ain't gonna leave tip for shit. Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna give you a tip. Because as an owner, you're like, look, I know they're annoying, but they're still gonna order 40 items of food, and I'm gonna make money off of that. So I hate when people don't recognize that. Is that a more annoying table to take care of than me and my few family members who are quick with it and don't fucking annoy nobody? Yes, but that's part of business too. They bring you money too. So that's, like, look, I've been to bars here or restaurants where there's this local couple of older folk that go there, and they're tedious with everything. They want this done this way. And I know that's annoying. I wouldn't fucking want them. But the thing is, once you start not appreciating those people, then everything goes down, because those little annoying customers are. I'm not saying they keep your business alive, but they show what type of owner you are and what you're willing to do to make everyone feel welcome. Now there's a limit, right? Like if somebody just wants to be a fucking dickhead and just like, I mean, there's a limit to it, but up to a certain extent, like here in Spain, they used to get annoyed at people wanting to pay separate too. And look, I get it. Like I try, if I go out with people, I always like, hey, look, let me pay. You give me some money, like, make it simple. But there's been times where, like, I don't know, some people just wanted to pay separate. And there was a restaurant that like wanted to give me trouble for that. And I love the place, but I was like, I'm not coming back, because I get it that it's not ideal for you and it's annoying, but it shouldn't be a deal breaker. I'm still ordering food and giving you money. So I never went back to the place. Like I was annoyed at that attitude.
Yeah, that happens when you don't want to. As a business, you don't want to be in a position where you're turning away customers. You want them to come back. So I want to make the experience as pleasant as possible for you and your family. So if you guys want to pay separate, go ahead.
Look, there's people that would get annoyed, I don't know, at a party of 5. Let's say they want to all pay separate. Okay. They get mad at that, but they'll be happy about 5 different people coming in at different times of the day and ordering a beer and paying. Like, what, you're mad that you're getting 5 at one time instead of having to wait the whole day to get them? I don't know. I just think it's a dumb way of doing business. And I feel like I was telling you this earlier. Like, I went to the bar near my house, which is pretty cool. Like, it's a new bar, and they were doing great service. And now the last 2 times I've gone, they're slow as fuck. It's like 15 minutes to get me a beer. And I just got to the point where I'm like, look, bro, I'm paying a premium on the beer so that I can drink it outside of my house and have a little feeling of escapism. But it's like you're taking that pleasure away, where now I just want to go home, buy a 6-pack, and drink it at the house in a more comfortable setting. So it's just annoying that now you're seeing places that have lost the meaning of it all. Like, the meaning of having a business is that you're providing value to the people. Otherwise, I can just go home and drink beer there and watch a fucking show. Like, I don't know if you noticed
And
this
it's
in
going to
Miami.
be cheaper.
Yeah, way cheaper. I felt this in Miami too, where like service was just shit. Like, people didn't care. You would go to places and you be treated like you don't even want to be there. I went to a bowling place. That the place was amazing. Like, it was new, it was beautiful. But every single person working there, I think they were maybe part of like a mental retardation program. All of them. It was insane how inefficient, slow, and bad attitude all these people had. And they were youngins, right? They were like 18, 20-year-olds and shit, maybe a little bit more. But I remember when we were doing those.
Expect more.
Yeah, but look, Chef Maurice, when we were doing those jobs, bro, there was a standard. I would have
That
like a
is true.
good attitude, a good face. I would speak properly. I would be nice to them. Like I remember you and me were in a pizza place working one time, and corporate wanted to offer this new extra large pizza, but they didn't have the trays for it yet, or they were like they weren't treated properly, so the pizza was getting stuck to the tray. And some dude ordered the pizzas, and the pizzas got stuck. And we didn't know what to do. We were like ashamed. We were fucked. And I remember you were like a little higher up than me. So you went and spoke to the guy. You're like, hey, we fucked up the 2 pizzas. I'm sorry. They're like a new type of pizza, and the trays are just fucking up. We'll give you 3 pizzas of whatever you want. Is that cool with you? And we solved it, right? And the guy was like, oh, okay, cool. I feel like if that happens today, they almost make you feel like, guilty for like, you fucked up. Yeah, like, oh, sorry, you ordered the wrong pizzas. It's like, they don't solve, like, you don't see any shame. You don't see any decorum, any professionalism. There's no passion anymore. I remember, bro, working in those pizza places, having a little bit of passion. Was I high out of my mind? Yes, but with passion.
Do you remember how you left that place? Like, did you give your 2 weeks?
No, I think I might have called and said, "Look, I'm just not coming back. This isn't for me," or something like that.
Do you remember how I left that place? Because I remember I was with you.
Yeah, you left before me, and you did it the fucked up way, which is not showing up or answering your calls. And then the lady knew that I knew you very well, so she's asking me, "Do you know anything about Chef Maurice?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea." And the dude is like next to me doing bong hits. So yeah, it was. I remember that time feeling like you kind of fucked me over.
I fucked up. I didn't think I fucked you over. I fucked up myself.
No, you fucked over yourself. You fucked over the lady, and I was kind of like collateral damage.
True. That is.
Because I had to face her. And I don't know. I don't know if you told me even like, "Oh, could you get my last check for me?" or some shit. And I might have told you, "Bro, you come pick up your shit." Anyways, yeah. So there's no passion anymore. I worked like, for example, at one point not only delivering pizzas, but I did as a server for a while. And I used to like have a good
pizzas.
I made the pizzas too. And there was also always a decorum, a professionalism. Is it true that in those type of environments, people are more jovial, more funsies, more doing cocorino in the freezing room? Yes. But there was a level, there was a standard. No, I swear to God, like the cook at one of the places was always high on cocaine. I swear to God, that's not even a stereotype. No. That's not like an Anthony Bourdain story. This is real life. But that dude never messed up any plate. So there was a level. Yeah, he was a beast. But back then it was like that. It was like, look, you can do your cocorino, your mushrooms, whatever it is, portobello, I got you. But you better fucking do your job well. And
that's the least I expect.
Yeah, and I think that's lost today.
I've seen some of that dual, you can do a little thing here, a little thing there. I've seen that hasn't gone away. Some people still have the privilege of doing the Cocorino Romano and then doing the pizza is coming out pretty well.
Oh yeah? You've seen that?
Yeah. I've seen they haven't lost a touch.
No, but I don't think it's like in the past. In the past, people were more pros.
I've worked with a person who was very open about her intakes.
Okay.
And
about her input.
Sometimes you can see what she was taking during service.
Oh, okay. She looked like a little powdered donut.
Yeah. She was so. I found that they're very open about this. What they take, when they take it, how they take it.
The people in the kitchen jobs.
They're very open about this.
Well, what I do feel is that, yes, you might say that. But back in the day, I just feel people. Am I sounding like a boomer? Back in my day, they were just more savages. Like, and they were pros. Like, have you ever done a dishwasher shift of 13 hours on acid?
No, I haven't.
Right. Well, I've been told that that's possible.
On acid.
Yeah.
God damn. Was the machine about to eat this person? Like 13 hours straight on acid?
I mean, I'm guessing
Or
at
it
the
was
end
like-
it was wearing off. The
Okay.
person
Okay.
the person says.
If you were to take acid
Mm-hmm.
during a 13-hour shift, when is the best time to take this? The beginning, middle, and
I'll be honest with you, bro. That's a very bad idea in general. But I would think, I mean, I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to give you a cheating answer. The best time is right when you're about to end your shift so that you can go have fun. But obviously, that's not the point of the question. The point of the question is, I mean, if you're gonna do it while you're doing the dishwashing shift, there's no better, like, there's no good point to do it because it's all gonna be quite uncomfortable. So might as well just do it at the beginning so that when you're off and you can go to sleep.
was that person's last shift?
In life type shit?
No. Like at the restaurant, maybe the owner saw it. He's like, nope.
No, that's what I'm.
He's moving too slow.
No, this is this is the thing that I'm trying to tell you. That person cleaned those dishes, I think, better than ever. So, no, you couldn't even let people think that you're on. No, there was a professionalism within the substance abuse community.
Mm.
Okay, chefs, they were going insane, high blood pressure, cocaine romano running through the veins, but they were making the minestrone soup on fire. They were making the chicken parmesans. They were making that whatever it is, penne sauce. In my house, penne sauce is a different thing.
Penne sauce, of course.
So now they're very open about telling
you to do again.
What, the penne sauce?
To work in a restaurant or in that business, maybe delivering again.
I mean, the only way that I would get in that business again. Yeah, I mean, I touch wood. I don't know what. I mean, I might do anything, right now, but it would be like part of a business that I make. Like Kiko's Donuts.
And then you're giving away your donut.
And then every day people can eat my donut.
Right.
For cheap, like cheap, no tip. You don't have to tip. In my place, it will be illegal to tip. We tip you
for coming in and eating.
Yeah, if you behave and you are a good customer, we tip you.
With free donuts.
Yeah, like we give you like little, like we'll make these ones that they're called like dots, which is the belly button of the donut. Like people don't know the donut is made by taking the middle out, right? You rip it out. And then you can make that into a little ball.
Like rip it out?
Yeah, you rip it up. It's like every time a donut is made, it loses its virginity. And then you grab that, hymen, whatever, and you turn it into a little donut dot. And that you give to people that behave well, and it's our tip. What's our tip? Donut dots. Where do they come from? They're the hymens of the donuts. They're like, wait, what do you have these names for? That sounds kind of weird. It's a little bit disturbing. Well, we like to keep it, strange here. What doesn't kill you makes you stranger. Little Batman reference there. All right. So, anyways, back to the food, right?
No tip.
No tip. No acid on the dishwashing shift. Important. And what else? And yeah, the servers. I mean, like, it's okay. Cry me a river. I get it. You didn't finish college and life is hard right now. But I'm sorry. Being a Red Lobster server does not entitle you to fucking $100K a year.
Damn.
Well, you have a counter argument. Am I wrong with this?
I don't know. I
You
have a
have
lot of
friends that are
friends in
servers,
the
right?
a lot of
Right.
friends
You don't want
in
to. You
the
don't want to dip
industry.
your toes in these waters, huh? Because you're part of the business. You
What
part of the
if?
system.
Well, what if the cooks make 100K? Is that
That
better?
I agree with that. They're the base of the operation. A
What's more
server,
important in
really?
a restaurant? A server or a chef
What's
or a
more important?
bar?
A chef. A chef. People don't even like servers anymore. People order from a fucking iPad.
Well, McDonald's now you can do that.
Well, I mean, you've been able to do that for a long time. I'm talking about. I've been to sushi places here where I don't even have to speak to the Chinese dude. Instead, it's an iPad that has the face, but it's all digital. And you just click the buttons. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm.
It's easier. I don't understand him. He doesn't understand me. I use the buttons. Boom, 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 boom. And I just get a food runner bringing the food.
Maybe that's that. Maybe that's why Japan is so forward. You don't have to deal with people. So futuristic. You can go to
Bro, like
restaurants and not deal with
they
people.
eliminate, like Japanese people are so advanced. They eliminate the unnecessary middlemen. You know what's gonna happen with this over tipping? I just figured it out. Like I just had like a little revelation.
Epiphany.
Yeah. You know what's gonna destroy the servers with the tipping going so high? Eventually, people are gonna turn, just like you can already order through an iPad in many fast food places. This is gonna start to happen also with like regular restaurants. Instead of a server coming, you have a little menu where people can just browse through it. People just prefer that. And then you just have a food runner that brings it, but you don't speak to him. He doesn't even speak English. And now tipping will be gone, and that's it. And now all this crying about, no. Now you gotta go to the strip club or something. I don't know. Whatever it is that's left.
Thing.
Is that correct?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay.
Maybe we get rid of the restaurant industry as a whole.
Yeah, I think we should just go like, have you seen the movie Mad Max?
I have not, but I know which one it
Oh,
is.
okay. Like just like a apocalyptic desert, just
Mhm.
uh something like that. Like, nah, I'm kidding. I'm cool with restaurants and all. Like, I love the fact that you have so many things, but yeah, they just need to chill with the things. Pay your servers well so that they don't have an excuse to say why they need $300 per hour on tips. Just pay them well, and then we can just leave them $1 or $2 if they behaved.
Well, one thing though, I don't think they're gonna let it go. Like even if you pay them $25 an hour, whatever they would make on tip would be more than that,
Yeah, but that's
right?
why I would want to do it so that we could prove how
Yeah,
bullshit
but
their
those
argument is.
motherfuckers can unify,
You like make an unionize,
make a unionize,
unionize. Yeah. Okay. I mean,
unionize,
can they? I
and
guess they
then
could. But what if you're at a restaurant that you're like, okay, but we just don't have servers. We have an iPad, and then we have Juan and Pedro. They just run the food.
your tip is going to Juan Pedro and the cooks.
Okay, I prefer that. But
Okay.
the correct thing would be like, no, don't worry, you don't need to tip. Only tip if you feel you like whatever the food running. But you're ordering everything. You're doing the iPad stuff. Why is there supposed to be a tip as well? Like, bro, here in Spain, the tip is like an actual recognition of your service. Like when you leave a tip here, they're like, damn dog, I feel you. They say that. First time they said it, I was weirded out. I'm like, damn, Spanish people can speak English like that? They were like, yeah, yo, for real, dog, that's what's up. They told me. There's this old lady, Spanish lady, speaking like that. It was weird. I opened the door, Spanish lady. She's like, hey, that's what's up, dog. I'm like, damn. So, but in the US, it's like it's expected. So it's not even like you're thankful for it. You're like, all right, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's supposed to be that. Bye, bitch. If you pay them $25 an hour, they will still argue that they need to get 30% tips because they do the work of the Lord.
On Sundays.
Bro, I swear, man.
Maybe get rid of restaurants.
Why? No, you're a chef. You will go out of business.
It's a hard, it's a hard thing to do. Like working in a restaurant is hard.
Okay, am I being unfair?
Maybe.
Because you seem to
Maybe-
agree with everything I say, but you still don't like say it out loud.
I do, but I wanna still. These people are my friends. I can't. throw
How
them under
many
the
of them
bus.
are your friends really?
Zero. But
Have they called you and offered you to help you get a job in their restaurant? No.
No.
Right? So fuck them, bro. Say what you feel.
mm,
I'm kidding.
I feel like there's gonna be a couple of people who are gonna watch this and
Ain't gonna talk
not
shit.
like it.
Damn.
Yeah.
You see, I hate that you're thinking of that. I've talked in this episode about all sorts of things that are a little spicy. And now I feel like you're cucking out.
No, we still. This episode's gonna come out. We
No, it
can't
is, but
delete
you're
this
not
one,
you're
too.
not saying this stuff. Tell me what you
Oh,
told me
this-
behind the scenes. Tell them what you told me.
What did I tell you?
You know. You were telling me that they're fucking entitled little bitches.
Mm. I don't know. Just working in a restaurant is hard.
That you
dealing
make
with people is
right,
hard.
but everyone is working on the restaurant, not just them. Anyways,
Right, I don't deal with the people. I don't have to deal with them. They deal
but
with
you-
them more than I
you
do.
make the food. All right, no, I get it.
It's a
Okay.
different dealing.
No,
I
no, no.
guess.
They're doing the work of
You're
the
right,
Lord.
you're
They're
right. No,
they're
you're right.
what were they called when they were in the COVID thing? They were primary workers, or what was it called?
Oh, the nurses and stuff.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
but they also said the people at restaurants and shit, essential
I don't remember
workers.
Essential workers. I don't remember that. Was I?
No?
Then I was an essential worker.
You were an essential worker working as a
Fuck.
chef in your house. No, you were going to the place, right?
No, I was working in a restaurant.
Only to go,
I was-
and then you guys would ask for tips on to go, right? That's how it all started. That's when this thing became a peak issue, because restaurants during the flu, the Chinese flu, they were asking for tips because you know what? Temporarily, because we cannot open, we are going to exceptionally suggest
Help.
that you leave a tip on takeout, because since we cannot open the doors, this is a way to help us. And you know what? I agree. I get it. Temporarily, let's do that. But what did restaurants do after the whole Chinese flu was
Keep
gone?
it.
We keep it. Right? We slap you in the face with our punani or pinino.
But
Sorry.
in Spain, it's still not. You don't have to leave tip.
No, in Spain, never. Like, it was never a thing.
Right. Like, okay, so that didn't change there. It just
No.
changed like in the United States.
Yeah, this whole tip phenomenon is not happening here. And in
Okay.
fact, when I go on forums online, imagine like, Kiko, you actually search on forums. No, but I've seen discussions on Facebook. You know, I'm a Facebook guy. I keep it old school. You know, I don't do the new stuff, TikToks and whatever, threads and this and that. I just keep it Facebook, and that's where you have a lot of the hoagies, right? The older folk. And there's people from Australia, New Zealand, different places in the world, and none of them have like a crazy tipping culture like in the US. You know, they have like a normal thing where you leave what you want and they appreciate it and everybody's happy. The US is pretty much, maybe the UK has this. I don't know if in the UK they have this, in like, you know, London or whatever, but the US is where like, no, you're getting screwed, bro. 30%. Otherwise, I look at you dirty. So anyways, I just wanted to say my 2 cents. I love the hat you're wearing, the original Florida Marlin steel. That's what's up. Keeping it real. You probably go buy that hat. They wanna, you wanna leave a tip. The fuck? Tip of my dick. How about
And
that?
you choose you choose the hat. Like you go, you search yourself. They're just charging for it.
I heard somebody tell me they went to like a supermarket or some place where they did self-checkout and it asked for a tip. It's happening, bro. It's becoming
I can see that
insane.
happening.
It's happening, man. It's retarded. Who's that tip going for? Is it going to me? Because I did the whole thing. So, anyways, we're on every platform. If you leave a review, it's really a rating, just a 5-star rating on Spotify or iTunes. It really helps us, helps the algorithm. We're on YouTube. YouTube doesn't really promote us, but you can see our faces there. You can leave comments. Subscribe if you haven't. Share with your homies. And yeah, Chef Maurice, thank you for joining like every week from Miami, the Sunshine.
Thank you for having me,
State.
Kiko.
And I'm broadcasting from Madrid, the place where dreams are, possible. I think I just made
The
that up.
Spanish dream.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was the Spanish dream. Making $1,000 a month. That's a Spanish dream. But there's no tipping. So.
And siesta.
Take care, fam. I love you. Keep it real. Keep it gangsta. Keep it Gucci. Take care.